Hey, what's up, guys? This is Nathan here again, coming at you with that part 2 video. If you're wondering what this is, once again, my name is Nathan Murphy, and I'm just now starting a YouTube channel. I actually have another video that you can see. I literally just have 2 videos up, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. And as I was saying in the last video, getting a little parched. All this talking action into the camera is getting me parched, but I'm good to go now. That one sip of H2O just volted me. Here we go. And so yeah, in this video, I just wanted to continue on with my journey that I was telling you guys about previously, with the hopes that it can resonate with someone else, and maybe there's something that you can take away from it, and some sort of added benefit that you could find from listening to my story. And so I last left off telling you guys that I was actually doing door-to-door sales with a company called Xerox. And if you don't know, yes, the Xerox company that sells copiers, that was killing it in the 80s and probably has not done very well since then, I would say. So yeah, I did that for a while, and it was during this time that I actually started looking into other entrepreneurial things for the first time, that I really began to consider doing seriously, because up until this point I kind of just had in the back of my mind that one day I would like to do something entrepreneurial. I'd like to maybe start my own business and see what that would look like and what exactly I could get into, but I didn't really have a specific set date in mind, or anything like, I want to start in 6 months, or I want to start in a year. But then I had this, professional sales position with Xerox, and that really made me begin to really consider the options of starting my own business, because honestly, that was just like, an amazing experience as to what I learned, and how to sell, and how to be face-to-face with people, and how to relate to people, and how to overcome objections, and the whole sales cycle. That was extremely beneficial to kind of learn / relearn all of that. But yeah, so needless to say, I ended up leaving that, and I actually was still in the state that my university was at, and so where I was working with Xerox. And so I ended up deciding to actually leave that state and go back to my home state, which is here in Washington. And I ended up moving back to Seattle. I literally packed all my belongings in my car, sold everything else on Craigslist, OfferUp, wherever I could sell to, get rid of everything, and moved back over to Washington, in Seattle specifically, and actually moved in and just kind of crashed on my brother's couch for a while at his place. And I really had no idea what exactly I wanted to get into next. And so I know in Seattle there's a bunch of major companies, amazing companies here, T-Mobile, Amazon, Microsoft, all those companies, HQ, Starbucks, are here in Seattle, believe it or not. If you guys didn't know, you're welcome. For the fact of the day, there it was, right there. And so yeah, knowing that, there's a lot of great companies, and so I just started looking around, applying, and still had in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something on my own in business one day, but I wasn't exactly sure what that might be. And so I actually ended up securing a position with Microsoft, and it wasn't anything like super fancy. I'm not an engineer or anything. I don't know how to write code. And so it was kind of just a foot in the door type job, so to speak. And basically I helped oversee a team of engineers and developers on a very minor level, meaning I would help, order different assets that they're getting, help with arrangements of office locations, and just really mundane, awful, horrible things. But I was honestly completely just transparent. I was just honest. I needed really to get a job. Wow, I just kept saying honest there. Apparently that was an honest moment for you guys, so you're welcome. There's straight up honesty. And so yeah, I just needed a job really bad, and so I just pursued that, and I did not enjoy it at all. And so even more so, I continued to look into entrepreneurship. I specifically started following some guys that were killing it in business online and run their own companies. And so I really began to follow them and see what they were doing just to kind of get ideas and whatnot. And so, yeah, I pursued Microsoft for a while and actually was with them for about, I would say, half a year. And the beginning of the new year, which would put us at January last year, 2017, I ended up getting laid off. And so that was really unexpected, kind of came out of nowhere, and kind of put me in a bit of a different position than what I was expecting. But when I was working at Microsoft, I was really working my butt off and, saving good amounts of money, and I was actually doing just smaller like contract work on the side, with DoorDash, Uber Eats, flipping stuff on eBay and Craigslist. And so just kind of doing whatever I could to make as much money and save as much money as possible. Fortunately, I didn't have any sort of a debt or anything. I was super blessed for that. But yeah, so I got laid off from Microsoft, and again, really just decided to look into entrepreneurship and, getting ideas to what I could get into. So I started following this guy online. I won't get into any specific names, but through that, I ended up starting my own business actually in February of last year. And so I kind of went through all the content in that video and kind of, some sort of fuzz thing just went through. And went through all the content, studied that, and was kind of unsure about it. Wasn't really positive that that's like what I wanted to do, the route I want to take. Although I did form my LLC, I did set up a business, and we can get into more of the specifics of all of that later. But yeah, so basically I started all that, but at the same time, I wasn't fully sold on that idea, right? I wasn't 100% all in saying, I'm going to do this no matter what. And so with that, I decided to pursue another sales job. And so just kind of the connection through a friend up here in the Seattle area, I ended up getting a pharmaceutical sales job. And kind of a very similar situation to Xerox. It was just in an industry that was kind of fading away, dying, In Xerox, less and less people are printing, and it's going more and more digital. In pharmaceutical sales, I was selling to independent pharmacies, and more independent pharmacies are getting bought out by CVS, Target, Walmart, Rite Aid, all the major pharmacies, right? They're literally just buying up all these smaller independent pharmacies that I was selling to on the phone. And so I called out on accounts nationwide, and again, the same thing. I really just, at this point, began to just stir something deep inside me that really was like, man, is this something that you want to keep pursuing for an extended period of time? Like, you're miserable. Why would you want to do this? And so I kind of just began to juggle that fine balancing act of like, I need to, continue to work, to make money, to save, but at the same time, I'm miserable. I don't enjoy what it is that I'm doing. And, just being able to see a lot of other people and the success that they've had, made that experience a lot harder. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there that can totally understand, totally relate to that. It's really easy to just kind of get shiny object syndrome and just be like, oh, wow, like that looks amazing, that looks amazing, that looks amazing. Those all look like really good opportunities. But I would say really just dig down deep within yourself and, explore you and get to know you and understand, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what it is that you're really good at, and what is it that you're not really good at. I honestly think that you should fully go all in 100% on the strengths that you do have. I don't think that you should focus on the things that you're not good at. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do those things eventually, because it helps to be a well-rounded individual. But I think there's a lot to be said about doubling down on the strengths that you do have and whatnot. And with that, I think you'll see a lot of success in different areas of your life. And so I really just want to keep these videos at the 10-minute mark, just so I don't like bore you guys to death and make you all fall asleep. Hopefully you guys are not too much asleep right now. But yeah, also I'll continue on with a part 3. Actually, I wasn't really planning for this at all, but I do want to keep these, you know, kind of broken up and concise. And so with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully you guys, you know, heard something that might have helped you out a little bit. If not, more to come. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.